TV 32, Montgomery.
Newswatch 32, The Weekend Report, with Sally Lewis and Alan Rice, Sports.
Good evening, I'm Sally Lewis. A Montgomery man is listed in stable condition tonight following a stabbing in West Montgomery. Police spokesman Larry Armstead says 32-year-old Robert Griffin was stabbed once in the leg this afternoon on the 1600 block of South Hall Street. Griffin apparently made it back to his home, where police found him lying in his bathtub after losing a considerable amount of blood. Police say they haven't made any arrests in the case yet, although they do have a suspect. And state troopers say at least 6 people have died in weekend accidents on Alabama highways, including a 23-year-old Wetumpka man. Troopers say Thomas Earl Jackson was killed when his car overturned in Elmore County last night. 3 people from Millbrook were seriously injured today, including a 3-year-old girl in a head-on collision on Highway 331. The accident happened this morning about 10 miles south of Montgomery. All the injured have been taken to Jackson Memorial Hospital. With a little more than a week left before the June 24th runoff, many of the candidates for statewide offices aren't wasting any time. Jim Folsom Jr., a candidate for lieutenant governor, is stepping back into the ring, challenging his opponent, Senator John Teague, to drop his negative campaign advertisements and instead make this an issue-oriented campaign. Earlier today, Folsom said he has plenty of ammunition to use against Teague, such as a copy of a lawsuit filed by an insurance company against him in Jefferson County Circuit Court.
I'll remove all negative advertising from TV, and I think he should too. And let's talk about, in the last week of this campaign, let's talk about our record and what we can do for the state of Alabama.
Folsom says he will wait to hear from Teague before pulling any of his negative ads. Meanwhile, Senator Teague has scheduled a news conference for tomorrow where he says he will respond to Folsom's challenge. Ralph Holmes, Teague's campaign spokesman, says he doesn't think the ad should be labeled negative. He says they've all been based on facts about Folsom. Both candidates will face each other tomorrow night in a debate which will be broadcast on Alabama Public Television. Following that debate, the 2 candidates for state treasurer will go head-to-head. Earlier today, candidate Jim Sigler accused the Alabama State Employees Association of making a, quote, backroom political deal by endorsing his opponent, George Wallace Jr. Ziegler claims he lost the group's support because of fear that if elected, he would interfere with the state employee retirement system, which he says is absolutely absurd. The association's executive director says they are supporting Wallace because of Ziegler's comments that he would put more state investments in Alabama, including state pension funds. But Ziegler says the group misunderstood his remarks, and he plans to ask them to reconsider their endorsement. Coming up next on Newswatch 32, ticket sales are up at the Alabama Shakespeare Festival, and so is Montgomery's economy. That story next.
Southern Trails means more than the state-of-the-art in sleeping bags, tents, and backpacks. Southern Trails means having a great time in rugged outdoor wear that looks good, but is tough enough for your favorite water slide or rendezvous with nature. Come see Southern Trails' complete line of outdoor wear and gear and chat with an experienced outfitter. They've got the right stuff. Southern Trails, now in the Village East Shopping Center.
Maybe I'm just a little bit lonely.
Now, how could you be lonely with us around?
Yeah. You need a little action. We're going to give your daddy our special introductory offer. Now, when would you like to surprise him?
I'm your daddy's date.
You are? Uh-oh.
Monday at 6:30 on WKAB TV.
When actor Tony Randall called the Alabama Shakespeare Festival the greatest Shakespeare house on earth, he probably wasn't even thinking of the new $21.5 million complex in terms of what it would do for tourism in the capital city. $12 million is the amount Chamber of Commerce officials are estimating the Shakespeare Festival will pump into the city's economy in the first year of operation alone, with people coming from all over the state and nation to get a taste of Shakespeare.
There are a lot of events that happen in Montgomery, but they only happen for 3 weeks, and then they're not performing again for another month or so. what the festival has to offer is that at least 5 days out of every week, there is something going on.
Chamber of Commerce officials say an estimated 165,000 people will visit the theater this year, 75% coming from out of town. They say occupancy rates in the city are higher this year and significantly higher than 2 years ago, some of which can be attributed to the festival. But many of the hotel owners I spoke with in East Montgomery say although business is better this year, they're not sure how much can be traced to out-of-towners here for the theater. It's a different story for many restaurant owners who say business has been booming since the festival opened its doors.
Our restaurant business has picked up quite a bit. We just opened our new restaurant a few months ago, and the business is up 30% over last year.
We have been able to notice when the Shakespeare Festival starts that we're going to be busy earlier, that we're going to have more people in because they're going to the play and they want to come in and eat before it or after it. As a matter of fact, one time we had to get a copy of the plays so that we could adjust our schedules and so forth so we would know when the plays were going to be and when the people would be coming in.
This weekend, festival officials are celebrating what they call the most dramatic theater ticket increase in history, reaching their 100,000 mark in just 7 months of operation. That, of course, will eventually trickle down into Montgomery's economy. Still to come, Al Rice has highlights of the Blue-Gray softball tournament and a look at the U.S. Open. Don't go away.
I'm having a great birthday.
Yeah? Are you hungry yet?
Yeah. You know, seafood would be nice.
Seafood?
Lobster's my favorite.
I think it's out of season.
Steak would be good, too.
I think steak's out of season, too.
Now at Sizzler, get steak and lobster without getting pinched.
So, what can I get you now?
Diamond earrings would be nice.
Definitely out of season.
Sizzler.
Now is the time to break your old news habit. Montgomery's own Mac Carmack heads up the team for Newswatch 32. Meet Michelle Hicks, co-anchor, Rick Derrick, late-night co-anchor, Paul Osman with the weather and environmental news. Then for national, state, and local sports, Chris Treston. The capital city is ready. We challenge you. Break that habit. Join Mac Carmack's team, Newswatch 32 at 6 and 10, weeknights on WKAB TV.
Well, the great white shark from Australia continues to dominate the U.S. Open. Despite running into a bit of trouble on the 13th hole today, the winds were strong on Long Island, but Greg Norman managed to stay right on top. On the 5th, Norman hitting out of a trap. Take a look. We'll take a look at some of the highlights. He gets a perfect roll, lays it near that hole. That means if he can tap it in, he goes up by 3. Norman with a confident tap makes the birdie putt. But chasing him the entire day, the mature but not forgotten Lee Trevino. Trevino with a couple of birdies himself shot a 1 under 69. He sits at 211 after 3 days. And not too far down the road is Ray Floyd here on 8. Watch this. Incredible putt. Isn't that nice? Floyd with an even par on the day, but we must go back to Norman and where his troubles began. Here on the 13th, he irons out of the grass into an adjacent field. The shark looking more like a fish out of water, double bogeys. Norman does regain himself, though, by the 18th as he leads the field by 1 and says he can win the title tomorrow.
You pay your dues out here, and hopefully I've paid all my dues. And if I played as well as I played tomorrow as I played today, as Lee said, I'm in a good chance to win the tournament.
And I was going to tell you, Greg Norman leading with a 71 today and a 210. Behind him is Lee Trevino at 211. Meanwhile, the Atlanta Braves hosting the last place Cincinnati Reds, a game that you would think that they would have an easy chance to win, and they let those 2 chances slip by. In the 4th, Atlanta scores first. Dale Murphy's single sends Omar Moreno home. The fans, well, let's take a look at the final there. That's 2-1, Atlanta winning that game. But if we could take a look at some of the highlights, there you go. It is Omar Moreno coming home. The fans, something to cheer about despite that 90-degree weather at Fulton County Stadium. And in the 5th, the Reds turn, no outs. Mario Soto at bat. He hits to Rafael Ramirez, who makes a play at first, but Bo Diaz does score. It's tied at 1. Then watch what may be the quickest glove in the West award, going to Reds pitcher Don Robinson. Here's another peek. Boy, he's got incredible reflexes. Watch this. That's about the only way you can see it in slow motion. He's probably saying, I saw it coming, no problem. Back to the 9th inning after the Braves left 3 on in the 8th. A real tragedy. Eric Davis on second, stealing third. Ramirez miffs it. Davis easily comes home. The Cincinnati Reds down the Braves 2-1. Elsewhere in the National League, Pittsburgh a loser to New York 5-1. St. Louis beating Chicago. The Cubs' new coach, Gene Michael, thrown out of his very first game. Elsewhere on the day, Montreal falls to Philadelphia 7-6, and San Francisco in the 6th is losing to Houston 3-2. And getting caught up there, L.A. and San Diego just underway. In the American League, Toronto beating Detroit 6-5. Milwaukee shuts out Boston 2-0. New York a winner over Baltimore. Minnesota beats Cleveland. Texas loses to Oakland. Kansas City and California. Don Sutton did not win his 300th game. California wins anyway. Chicago a loser, losing to Seattle in the 3rd, 1-0. And when it comes to softball, things you'd usually think that it'd be a little bit slower than the major leagues. Not such the case at Lagoon Park today. The Blue-Gray fast pitch game tournament, they're going and whizzing that ball. 25 teams field be narrowed down by tomorrow after the lottery pick. That means the fans aren't enjoying what they're seeing. Here is the United Surgical team in the dark uniforms against Addison out of Addison, Alabama. United Surgical from Montgomery. They improved their record to 3-1 as they beat Addison 5-1 in this game. He is safe. The games continue beginning at 9 Sunday. The championship game is scheduled for 3 o'clock tomorrow. And on the other side of town, at the Montgomery Raceway, tonight the Miller American Spectacular brought some familiar faces to the track. A legend in racing, Red Miller.
2 or 3 different generations of drivers come and go, and the cars change from fuel-injected, super modified, to 34 coupes up to where we're running the late model T-Birds now. But I think everything changes for the better, and you've got to go with the times.
Miller's still to be reckoned with. He was racing against tonight. In fact, he's racing probably right now in the race that's going on, the final race, the feature race of the day. A lot of things going on today in sports.
Okay, yeah, thanks a lot. We'll be back right after this.
Are you ready to buy a new car or truck? Well, get ready to get lost in the shuffle at some big dealership with fast-talking salesmen and high prices. But if you're ready for personal service, straight answers, and the lowest price, get ready to own a Collier Ford.
Hello, I'm Jimmy Collier. Come to Collier Ford in Wetumpka, and we'll show you what our family-owned dealership can do for you.
So if you're ready to own a new car or truck, get ready to own a Collier Ford. Highway 231, Wetumpka.
When you need a new roof, call Jones Brothers Roofing Company. Customers who start with us stay with us because they know they can count on Jones Brothers to install quality roofing at a sensible price. Jones Brothers installers are highly qualified. They adhere to our philosophy, no shortcuts. Quality roofing at a sensible price, whether it be a residential roof or a large installation like this one. So, remember, when you need a new roof, call Jones Brothers Roofing Company in Montgomery.
If you like today's weather, you're in luck. Looks like tomorrow's going to be another sunny day. But right now, here's a look at the current conditions in the capital city. Right now, it's 77 degrees outside. The humidity is 64%. The barometer's at 30.00 inches and steady. Winds are out of the southeast at 5 miles an hour. Look for fair skies tonight with a low in the mid-60s. For tomorrow, partly sunny skies with a high around 85 degrees. And there is a chance we could get some showers in the afternoon next week. That's news and weather for now. I'm Sally Lewis. Thanks for watching.